We'll start the recording, which I have a presentation which we'll go through. Depending on the context, we might go to Vedabase and read some excerpts from there. But yeah, we'll start off. Everyone is familiar with this literature, right? Since you are Bhakti Shastri students, I hope at least once you have come across these books in your journey of Krishna consciousness, Nectar of Instruction to start off. So this is the module 5. We are starting with Nectar of Instruction, then we'll have Ishopanishad. This book is very small book. However, the meanings inside the book are very deep. And if we can apply them, we can reach far places in our Krishna consciousness. The author of this book is in Sanskrit is Sri Upadeshamrita is Srila Rupa Goswami, one of the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, primary Goswami of Vrindavan, followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It has been translated into English by Srila Prabhupada as Nectar of Instruction. So I will begin this talk with a prayer to the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. Nana Shastra Vicharinayka Nipanau Shadharma Samstapakau Lokanam Hitakarinau Tribhuvane Manyau Sharanyakarau Radha Krishna Padaravinda Bhajana Nandena Mattalikau Mande Rupa Sanatanau Raghuyugau Shri Jiva Gopalakau. This is Sri Shat Goswami Ashtakam, verse number 2. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the 6 Goswamis, namely Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatan Goswami, Sri Raghunatha Bhatta Goswami, Sri Raghunatha Dasa Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, and Sri Gopala Bhatta Goswami, who are very expert in scrutinizingly studying all the revealed scriptures with the aim of establishing eternal religious principles for the benefit of all human beings. Thus, they are honored all over the 3 worlds, and they are worth taking shelter of because they are absorbed in the mood of the gopis and are engaged in the transcendental loving affairs of Shri Radha and Krishna. So, without talking about Sri Rupa Goswami, just talking about Nectar of Instruction won't be complete. And without talking about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, talking about Rupa Goswami will also not be complete. So, we'll go little back to the background of this text as well, and the context in which this book appeared, as well as some of the pastimes associated with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srila Rupa Goswami, and Srila Prabhupada, our Srila Prabhupada. So, we all know Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu descended into this material world to fulfill some of his desires. There are some internal reasons and there are some external reasons. The internal reasons for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance in this material world it's given in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela 1.6 text. Desiring to understand the glory of Radha Rani's love, the wonderful qualities in him, and that she alone relishes through her love, and the happiness she feels when she realizes the sweetness of his love, the Supreme Lord Hari, richly endowed with her emotions, appeared from the womb of Srimati Sachidevi as the moon appeared from the ocean. So to relish the glory of Srimati Radharani's love and to understand or relish the wonderful qualities of Lord Shri Krishna that she is relishing through her love, as well as to feel or realize that the happiness that she feels for him, and whatever the sweetness she is experiencing, Krishna wanted to experience himself. So he descended into this material world. And we have seen that he has appeared in the womb of Mother Sachi Devi and enlightened this entire world with his teachings, with his example, and with his followers. So these are the internal reasons for Lord Chaitanya's appearance. So with that, let me offer obeisance prayers to Srila Prabhupada and continue. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So these are the internal reasons for Lord Chaitanya's appearance. There are some external reasons as well that are given by Sri Advaitacharya's example. Sri Advaitacharya was looking around the world and feeling great compassion for the world around, because there's so many people suffering around him and so much of Kali that has become prominent, and he wanted he wanted to do some good to the people, or at least propagate the names of Lord Chaitanya. And he knew that who else would be the better person who could propagate the names of holy names of the Lord than Lord himself. So he prayed to Shaligrama Shila of Lord Shri Krishna by offering Ganges water and tulsi leaves, and cried out loudly on the banks of Ganges every day, asking for Lord to descend into this material world. So Advaitacharya, having appeared, he found the world devoid of devotional service to Shri Krishna, because people were engrossed in material affairs. Seeing the activities of the Lord, the Advaita felt compassion and began to ponder how he could act for the people's benefit. Advaitacharya thought, if Shri Krishna were to appear as an incarnation, he himself could preach devotion by his personal example. In this age of Kali, there is no religion other than the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. But how in this age will the Lord appear as an incarnation? I shall worship Krishna in a purified state of mind. I shall constantly petition him in humbleness. My name, Advaita, will be fitting if I am able to induce Krishna to inaugurate the moment of the chanting of the holy name. While he was thinking about how to propitiate Krishna by worship, the following words came to his mind. Shri Krishna, who is very affectionate toward his devotee, sells himself to a devotee who offers him merely a tulsi leaf and a palmful of water. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, chapter 3, 96 to 104. These are the direct translations of those verses. So Lord Chaitanya's descent um, was propitiated by the prayers and the cries of Sri Advaitacharya. He prayed so that people can learn the process of devotion service, as also come out of their ignorance, which are an ignorant material activities which are they grossly engrossed in. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared. So Advaitacharya is much older than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared many years later than Sri Advaitacharya. So you can see the pictures of Advaitacharya depicted mostly in white with beard, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu always effulgent, very young, always not beyond 16 years of age. Although in his manifest pastimes he was on the earth for 48 years. Then Mahaprabhu appeared on this earth in a Navadvip Mayapur area, and he established the process of devotional service in the world. So he got the seed of devotional service from the spiritual world and sowed those seeds in Navadvip. And there was a tree that sprouted from those seeds. And the tree became big. He transported that tree even to Jagannath Puri, to Vrindavan, and it expanded and expanded. And he himself watered the tree, and it became big tree, and it had many branches. So it is said in the verses of Chaitanya Charitamrita, again chapter 9, Adi Leela, 6 to 41, if you can go back and read that text, this depicts, it's a figurative representation of the devotional service that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu brought in the form of a tree. So he sowed the seeds, the tree, and he watered the seeds. The seeds sprouted. It became into a plant and then into a big tree and had many, many branches. And many fruits came out of that. And it got spread to the entire world. In fact, the entire universe. And out of that branches, you see different branches as Advaitacharya himself, Sri Nityananda Prabhu, Gadadhar Pandit, and many other followers of Lord Chaitanya have taken up each branch in the sense they have propagated the message of this devotional service far and wide by making themselves a recipient of this as well as propagating and distributing it. So Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, I have planted the tree, I have watered the seed, and it became the tree, and I'm enjoying the benefit of the tree also um, in the form of fruits. So he's eating the fruits, he's enjoying the fruits, and he's also distributing it throughout the whole world. So and he became actually the tree trunk itself. He was the seed. He is now the trunk of the tree. He is the entire tree himself. He is the gardener of the tree because he's watering. He is the bestower of the fruits of the tree. He is the enjoyer. So he's become everything of this tree. This is a devotional service tree, and he's enjoying the fruits of the tree and he's distributing. Now he's asking, how much can I eat all alone? And he's distributed to far and wide without any qualification. He did not say who's qualified to receive this mercy of devotional service. He just gave it without any qualification, far and wide. Now he's thinking, how much can I eat or how much can I spread alone? So then he says, Bharata Bhumile Haila Manusha Janma Yara Janma sadhaka kari, kara para upakara, whoever has taken birth in the Bharata Bhumi, they need to first make their life sartaka, means purify their lives, as well as give that whatever they have received through whoever they come across in their life, just distribute it. First of all, make their life purified as well as distribute the benefit of whatever they have received throughout the entire world. So, Lord Shri Krishna manifested in the material world or as Lord Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and experienced this ecstasy of devotional service and distributed it. And he wanted, and he did not write himself a lot of literature. You all must be aware. He has only written Shri Shishtastakam, which is 8 verses. Right? He did not write a lot of. And how much believed, because he was engrossed in his own ecstasy. He wanted to experience, that's why he came, internal and external reasons. He wanted to spread the glories of holy name as well as experience the internal ecstasies that Srimati Radharani is experiencing herself. So for someone to sit down and write, it needed a lot of um, concentrated effort to write some literatures. But he was in ecstasy all the time. Like you could see from reading Chaitanya Charitamrita how he was going overwhelmed into the ecstatic and his bodily features would get transformed into different ways, and his associates used to bring him back into keeping safe because he would become very put himself into unsafe conditions. Nothing can um, disturb him or harm to him, but still out of affection his associates would feel great concern for him and used to bring him back to his home and pacify him, nourish him with food, and whenever he feel ecstatic, his close associate, she Sarva, what is this? Ramananda Rai and his other associate is just evading my memory. Anybody? Sarup Damodar Goswami. Sarup Damodar Goswami and Ramananda Rai. Very close associates. They were always constantly with him. And he has understood the esoteric pastimes of Shri Radha and Krishna from Ramananda Rai. That's also described in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. And whenever he felt ecstatic symptoms and he wanted something that he could pacify himself at that moment, he would ask Sarup Damodar Goswami to narrate something from the scripture. And Sarup Damodar Goswami, in his beautiful voice, used to sing those prayers or songs from the scriptures that would pacify Lord Chaitanya. So they could understand what is exact mood of Lord Chaitanya at that time, so that they can give him that particular verse, so that they can Mahaprabhu can satisfy his ecstasy. So that is how this was continuing, and he needed someone who could do similarly that ecstatic, whatever ecstatic experiences he's feeling, someone could give it to the world. And because he himself was not doing by writing any literature, he needed someone who would do that to the general population, entire universe. So he empowered Sri Rupa Goswami to be that person who could take this message, he could understand his internal feelings, his internal manifestations, and distribute that to the entire world. And he empowered Srila Rupa Goswami with his internal potency, with Mahaprabhu's internal, Lord Shri Krishna's internal potency. He has empowered Srila Rupa Goswami and given him all the meanings, all the understandings that he can learn, and it is required for him to understand and write them down in the literature. And that is how he is the recipient of the top mercy of Lord Mahaprabhu. Srila Rupa Goswami became the recipient of that mercy. So he is very young compared to all the associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If you see, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is much older, like about 90, 100 years. Very, very old man. He was his follower. Ramananda Rai and Sarup Damodar also were older, but not uh, as old as Srila Rupa Goswami. Srila Rupa Goswami is the youngest follower, and Haridas Thakur and various other past associates of Lord Chaitanya from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. And Rupa Goswami was the youngest, and he gave them. In fact, he has given his mercy to all the six Goswamis of Vrindavan, so that they can understand the messages and the inner meanings, and excavate the pastime pastime areas of Lord Chaitanya, of Sri Krishna, because they were gone with the time. 5,000 years back, Lord Sri Krishna performed pastimes in Vrindavan. Those places have become, they were gone, in the sense that time erodes things. People take up some other sampradaya, some other processes of devotion service, some other areas of materialistic areas, ways, and then these pastimes became, they were gone out of manifestation, or people lost those places. And he has empowered the six Goswamis to excavate those pastime locations in Vrindavan, and also write literature about the pastimes and the internal moods and the teachings of Lord Sri Chaitanya, and given them and spread this to the entire world. So these are some of the, we'll go through some more information on that, but he has given them this task or a project to go through and do this. And among them were the six Goswamis. Among the six Goswamis also, it is Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami and Jima Goswami are the very prominent, because they come from the same family. Not because they come from the same family, but because they are very, very top recipient of the mercy of Lord Shri Chaitanya. So, going to go and try to sketch a short sketch of Srila Rupa Goswami with my limited understanding, with my limited capacity. We'll try, but I'm all begging you all, so that I can do some purification for my own self, and we can all benefit by hearing the pastimes like that. So we all know this prayer of Rupa Goswami, for Srila Rupa Goswami, that we have in the introduction of Bhagavad Gita, that we recite on a daily basis. So let's do this prayer. Shri Chaitanya Mano Bhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam. When will Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada, who has established within this material world the mission to fulfill the desire of Lord Chaitanya, give me shelter under his lotus feet? So he is the one who has been assigned to spread the mission of, or spread the mission of Lord Chaitanya. And we are asking him to Srila Rupa Goswami to give us that shelter under his lotus feet, because he is the one who is spreading the mission of Lord Chaitanya. We are begging his mercy so that we can become little recipient of his mercy as well. So, Srila Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswamis are from very, very learned or very pious communities from South India, Karnataka. And their previous generations, their forefathers have migrated. They were very learned Brahmanas. And they migrated to West Bengal at some point in their life, either due to whatever reasons they have migrated. And then Shrupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami in their original names were Shri Rupa and Sanatana, and they were very, very learned, uh, very young, very bright. They could understand all these scriptures. They read scriptures, Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and many other scriptures in their young age. And they were very learned and they could guide people. So they had their one of the younger brothers also. His name was Vallabha or Anupam. His initiated name became Anupam, but his name is Vallabha. Sanatana, Rupa, and Vallabha are the three brothers, among many other brothers. They became very, very prominent in their family and in the society because of their qualification and learned scholars. They were very proficient in so many languages, including Persian, Sanskrit, Urdu, and many local languages. Urdu was a prominent language as well at that time because of the Mughals empire that was ruling India. And they were very prominent and learned scholars in Persian languages as well as in Sanskrit. So, knowing their scholarship and their clout in the society, the Mughal Nawab Hussain Shah wanted them to serve in his kingdom because they could benefit. The kingdom can benefit because of their proficiency, because of their scholarship, their erudite knowledge. They could and they can guide people, right? So Nawab Hussain Shah employed them in his kingdom, and because of that, their names also got changed. Rupa Goswami became Dabir Kasa, and Sanatan Goswami became Sakara Malik. Rupa Goswami was the chief secretary, and Sanatan Goswami, Sakara Malik, was the treasurer, and they were guiding the Nawab. So at some point, this is in Bengal. They were very dissatisfied in their lives, as in the sense like they were not feeling very satisfied, because when you have to work for a Mughal empire, a Mughal ruler, you can imagine how their community would treat them. The community in which they were from Brahmana community, they almost ostracized them because they weren't followers. They were thinking, even though they were so qualified, they were ostracized because they were serving the Nawab. And in that sense, they were not very satisfied with what they were doing, because they had to take the association of a Mughal empire, and their associates were all Muslims. So they decided, one day they came across the teachings of Mahaprabhu, and they initially became very surrendered to the teachings of Mahaprabhu. At Ramakeli, they met Mahaprabhu. And when Mahaprabhu met them, Mahaprabhu immediately realized these are very bright, young people. They can be given some service, he thought. But he said that, go back to your duties, don't come right away. There will be a time when you can come and then serve me. So then they go back, but they're feeling very, very dissatisfied and disheartened in their heart. They were very restless. They couldn't wait to go back to Mahaprabhu. Then, after some time, each one met Mahaprabhu at different times, and there are past times if you read Chaitanya Charitamrita how they met Mahaprabhu. But talking about Srila Rupa Goswami, next time he met Mahaprabhu at Prayag. At Prayag, Mahaprabhu met him. Then first meeting he met him. He felt very ecstatic, ecstasy. Both of them met. Mahaprabhu embraced him, and then he sent him away. The next day he called him, and at Dashashvameta Gata, he preached to Maharishi Rupa Goswami for 10 consecutive days on the inner meanings, inner teachings, esoteric teachings of the scriptures, and gave him full mercy. That is how he received mercy. And after that, Rupa Goswami went back to his place, but then they both, Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami, hatched a plan how they came out of the services of Nawab. It is all there. I'm not going to so many details, but then they escaped from him because he was the treasurer. He had a lot of money with himself as chief secretary as well. They were very rich as well, so they had a lot of money. Using that money, they with the plan they moved out of the service of Nawab. Then Mahaprabhu and Rupa Goswami traveled and he went to Vrindavan. And from Vrindavan, he realized Mahaprabhu left the Vrindavan at that time. And then he came to Jagannath Puri. By then only he started, because he received the messages and the instructions what to be done. They straight went to Vrindavan. On the way, they lost one of their brothers. Anupam actually got bitten by a snake. He passed away on the way. They were very disheartened by that. But then these two brothers continued and they went, but then they realized Mahaprabhu left. He went back to Jagannath Puri because Chachi Mata wanted Mahaprabhu to be in Jagannath Puri, which is a close location compared to Vrindavan. She could get the news of Mahaprabhu every now and then when the devotees traveled to Jagannath Puri back and forth during the Yatra time, and she could get the messages. So Rupa Goswami then was already writing the scriptures, writing his whatever instructions he got. And this verse, let me just explain this verse. Before the creation of this cosmic manifestation, Lord enlightened the heart of Lord Brahma with the details of the creation and manifested the Vedic knowledge. In exactly the same way, the Lord, being anxious to revive the Vrindavan pastimes of Lord Krishna, impregnated the heart of Rupa Goswami with spiritual potency. By this potency, Srila Rupa Goswami could revive the activities of Krishna in Vrindavan, activities almost lost to memory. In this way, he spread Krishna consciousness throughout the world. So just as Lord Shri Krishna empowered, enlightened Lord Brahma, from the first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam 1:1:1, Janma diyasya yata etonmayan, that verse, Tene Brahma Hridayadi Kavaye Muhyanti Yat Suraya Tejo Vari Mridam Yata Vinimayo Yatra Trigunna Sarva Namna Sena Sada Nirasta Kuhakam Satyam Param Dimahi. So in that verse, Srila Vyasadeva is explaining how Lord Shri Krishna has enlightened Lord Brahma to write this monumental magnum opus literature, Srimad Bhagavatam of Srila Vyasadeva. And he has enlightened him by giving the knowledge from within the heart. Similarly, Lord Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given that kind of knowledge to Srila Rupa Goswami and empowered him with the spiritual knowledge as well as the ecstasy and the potency. Because unless one feels the ecstasy of this, whatever the ecstasy that he is feeling, the spiritual transcendental ecstasy, he cannot write them. And Mahaprabhu could not write because he was totally like into that. And he needed someone who could experience it at the same time, put it down, because it needs a lot of controlled emotions, right? When someone is ecstasy, you can feel like, you're ecstatic, your voice is shivering, your hands are quivering, and you're maybe tearing up. So you cannot be controlled. Someone who's feeling that ecstasy as well as and writing it down, it needed a special potency. So that was Srila Rupa Goswami. He gave him all that, similar to how he has given to Sri Vyasadeva. So this verse talks, this is where he has taught Sri Rupa Goswami and the Dashashvameta Gata. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught Srila Rupa Goswami the ultimate limit of the truth about Lord Shri Krishna, the truth about devotional service, and the truth about transcendental mellows, culminating in conjugal love between Radha and Krishna. Finally, he told Rupa Goswami about the ultimate conclusions of Srimad Bhagavatam. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught Srila Rupa Goswami all the conclusions he had heard from Ramananda Raya and duly empowered him so that he could understand them. By entering the heart of Rupa Goswami, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu empowered him to ascertain properly the conclusions of all truths. He made him an experienced devotee whose decisions correctly agreed with the verdicts of the disciplic succession. Thus, Sri Rupa Goswami was personally empowered by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, 19th chapter, 115 to 117. So, moving on with the Srila Rupa Goswami's glories, continuing around the same theme. So, Rupa Goswami then was traveling one day. He wanted to write scriptures. We will go through some of those scriptures. I probably have it here, or I just say that what are the different other literatures that he has written, and what are some of his contributions to the entire world. So he wrote literatures. He excavated the pastime places of Lord Sri Krishna, and he built temples. And one of the thing that one of his he is the worshipper of Govinda Dev deity. There are three prominent deities in Vrindavan: Madan Mohanji, Govinda Dev Ji, and Gopinath. Madan Mohan is the deity. Sambandha Jnana is taught by Srila Sanatana Goswami. Rupa Goswami's deity is Govinda Dev, Abhideya process, that is applying that process and how we can apply that and realize it. And then Raghunath Das Goswami's deity is Gopinathji, who was propounding the process of Prayojana. So Rupa Goswami's deity is Govinda Dev, and he has found it in one of his travels in Vrindavan. It was found him because this deity of Govinda Dev was um, uh, inaugurated by Lord Shri Krishna's grandson, um, and it got lost in between in that process 5,000 years. And so Maharupa Goswami found that deity and he started the worship of it. But later on, when the Mughals were invading entire India, the followers of Rupa Goswami, they removed the deity and placed it safely right now the deity is in Jaipur. What we have in Vrindavan, in the uh, Govinda temple, is a Pratibhu deity, which is a replica, not the original one, but a replica. Um, so just as Srimati Radharani is being served by her principal associates, follow as the eight principal Sakhis, each principal Sakhi, Lalita and Vishaka, the starting with, they have their manjaris, the intimate maid servants, who would assist these principal Sakhis in assisting Shri Radha and Krishna. So the principal manjari is Shri Rupa Manjari, who is their leader. She is the intimate maid servant of Srimati Radharani, and they are assisted by the eight manjaris. Again, eight manjaris, 888, like that. Shri Rupa Manjari is their leader, and she would their main pastimes would be to give them make the garlands, to make betel nut leaves and palm leaves, so that, and then they make them the flower garlands. So those are some of the intimate pastimes that these manjaris, very small maid servants, would do. So I said that he was taught at Prayaga, and then bestowed him that mercy, so he can give them knowledge to the entire world. I put some of the commentaries of Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. But let me not just get into that before. Um, so, Rupa Goswami was one day traveling. So he started to write the literatures, and then one day he was traveling from Vrindavan to Jagannath Puri. As he was traveling, he came across one place called Satyabampur. There in his dream, he got a dream. So initially, he was trying to write a drama that includes the pastimes from Vrindavan, Mathura, as well as Dwaraka. He was making one drama known as Vidagdha Madhava, the drama name is. And at Satyabamapur, he got a dream in which a very divine celestial personality came and told him, why you want to write this pastimes of mine along with Vrindavan? I was never in Vrindavan. Write my pastimes separately. So that was none other than Sri Satyabhama herself. Satyabhama came and told to Rupa Goswami to write a pastime or a drama about herself and her pastimes with Lord Shri Krishna outside of Vrindavan, because she was not in Vrindavan. She was in Dwaraka. So write a pastime in Dwaraka. So Then Mahaprabhu and Rupa Goswami he got that. So he was thinking, oh wow, what is this? Then he traveled to Jagannath Puri. In Jagannath Puri, he saw Haridas Thakur. As soon as he saw Thakur came and told him, yes, I know you are coming because Mahaprabhu already told about you. And Rupa Goswami became stunned. How come Mahaprabhu knew I was coming? And how did he already tell to Haridas Thakur? Just then Mahaprabhu appeared on the scene. Mahaprabhu said, oh, I was waiting for you. And he embraced him. And he said, I don't want to, Krishna doesn't go out of Vrindavan anytime. He's always in Vrindavan. Then he could relate that dream that he had and whatever Mahaprabhu is telling him. And then he got the message that he has to write a separate literature. Then he wrote Lalita Madhava, another drama. So these are some of the books that he wrote. Um, so he then Mahaprabhu actually how this book Sri Upadeshamrita came upon is Mahaprabhu when he was in ecstatic mood in Jagannath Puri last 20 years 24 years he traveled for some time and then he resided in Jagannath Puri from 24 to 48 in between he traveled to Vrindavan for 4 years and South India for 4 years but then he came back he was residing in Jagannath Puri. In Jagannath Puri, he would experience his ecstatic symptoms, and any sand dune he would think that as Govardhan Hill. Any water body, ocean that he would see, he would think that as Yamuna, and he would go into that world, and his associates would bring him. So one day they were at the ocean bank at the beach, and then he became very ecstatic and he ran into the water and he thought that was um, Yamuna and he became very ecstatic. Then his associates got him, pacified him by some verses. So how Mahaprabhu would be pacified is by the verses from the scriptures that could console him, soothe him. So they were narrating these pastimes and he became pacified and he came to consciousness. When he came to consciousness, he was naturally speaking Krishna Katha. And in that Krishna Kada, he was telling a lot of, starting from the simplest to the highest meanings he was giving, Mahaprabhu. And Rupa Goswami was there in that assembly. And he got all that into his heart. And he pinned it down on the palm leaves as he was telling, he was taking notes, like how we take notes. He was taking it down. And then later on, he translated or he came up in that was what Mahaprabhu spoke. Now, Rupa Goswami came up with the verses. So he came up with the verses and he wrote it down, he penned it, and this is what is Shri Upadeshamrita that we have. And at one point, one more pastime of Mahaprabhu and Rupa Goswami, Jagannath Puri, there was Jagannath Rath Yatra. Mahaprabhu became ecstatic, and in the Rath Yatra, he was just saying some songs, just like a girl and a boy, how they would exchange each other. He would just say some songs, and then hearing that, Rupa Goswami composed a song which is just giving, giving him, giving the essence of what Mahaprabhu was going through because Mahaprabhu was singing some materialistic song at that time, some other scripture which is a material scripture. And Rupa Goswami could understand his inner meaning, inner ecstasy, and he composed a song. And he wrote that song and put it in his hut, which is on they put something on the hatch. You know what I'm telling. He inserted that palm leaf there and he went for a bath. Mahaprabhu appeared on the scene just then and he took that just then and he read it. And he read it and said, oh wow, this is exactly what I was feeling. And Rupa Goswami could capture it and he wrote it down in this way. How did he get this feeling? How did he understand my inner meaning? And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was next to him. He said, unless you give him that, nobody will get it. You might have given him your full mercy, Mahaprabhu. He was saying that to Mahaprabhu, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Then Mahaprabhu said, smiled and said, yes, I gave him all my mercy so he can understand, so he can write all these kind of scriptures. Then he says to the associates of Mahaprabhu, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Raghunath Das Thakur, sorry, not Raghunath, Ramananda Rai, Haridas Thakur, and various Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, and all these people, you also should bless him. This is a young boy, very young, but he understands everything. He's not experienced, but he is as experienced as any other senior devotee. Please bless him, because without the blessings, no one will propagate this kind of preachings or teachings. So please, all of you, bless him so that he can uh, do his service of writing the scriptures and everything that he is supposed to be doing, because I have given him my mercy, I have given him my blessings. You also give all your blessings. So that's how Sri Rupa Goswami got all the blessings from all the senior devotees of Mahaprabhu, not only from Mahaprabhu, and he wrote a lot of literature. Yeah. Okay. I Anyway. So he wrote a lot of literatures. Some of his prominent literatures are Sri Upadeshamrita, that's what we're going to read. Then Sri Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Mahaprabhu told him, I gave you a drop of ocean of these nectarian pastimes from the spiritual world, just ocean. And what Rupa Goswami is saying is, I got sorry, he gave him a drop. He said, I'm giving you a bindu. And what Rupa Goswami got is the ocean. So he wrote Nectar of devotion, which is, it's a Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So Nectar of Devotion is English translation of that, but Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. From that drop, I got the ocean. So he wrote that ocean. Some of the other literatures that he wrote is Vidagdha Madhava, that is a pastimes in Vrindavan. Lalita Madhava, pastimes of, it's a drama, basically. It's a drama composition with the scenes and how Radha and Krishna and other in Vrindavan and Dwarka, Krishna and Rukmini and other associates of Krishna, there is pastimes, an act. It's a drama that he wrote from his spiritual vision. So Vidagdha Madhava, Lalita Madhava, Ujjwala Namali, Bhakti Samsantur, Nectar of Devotion, Upadeshamrita, and various others. Then Mathura Upadesh, Mathura, yeah, and then various other scriptures he wrote, which we are not reading everything, but if you get any opportunity, you can read as well and make your. We are all followers of Rupa Goswami. We are Rupa Anugas and Srila Prabhupada. We will now go through the the preface. You all have, I hope, this book. We are not reading everything today online. I mean, we'll read the preface. We don't have a lot of time, but we'll read the preface. For some parts of it, I will read and we'll go. It's a very short preface. So, Srila Prabhupada has established the Krishna consciousness movement is conducted under the supervision of Sri Rupa Goswami. The Gaudiya Vaishnavas or Bengali Vaishnavas are mostly followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, of whom the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan are direct disciples. Therefore, Srila Narottam Das Thakur has sung Rupada Gunata Pade Hai Be Akuti Kabe Ka Haba Habo Jabo Se Yugala Piriti. When I am eager to understand the literature given by the Goswamis, then I shall be able to understand the transcendental loving affairs of Radha and Krishna. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in order to bestow upon human society the benediction of the science of Krishna. The most exalted of all the activities of Lord Krishna are his pastimes of conjugal love with the gopis. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in the mood of Srimati Radharani, the bestower of the gopis. Therefore, to understand the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and follow in his footsteps, one must very seriously follow in the footsteps of 6 Goswamis, Sri Rupa, Sanatana, Bhatta Raghunath, Sri Jiva, Gopala Bhatta, and Dasa Raghunath. So, unless we follow the footsteps of 6 Goswamis and follow their teachings, read their books, we won't be able to completely understand the teachings of Mahaprabhu that he is giving us. And Srila Prabhupada, how he has received the mercy of Rupa Goswami, I will just say a few pastimes of our Prabhupada and Rupa Goswami as well. So Prabhupada is saying this Krishna consciousness movement is established under the direct supervision of Srila Rupa Goswami. So if you see, he has introduced that prayer of Sri Chaitanya Manu Bhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale in the beginning of introduction to Bhagavad Gita. And he has said that we are all Rupa Anugas, followers of Rupa Goswami. If you see from the pastimes and activities of Srila Prabhupada himself, he has resided in the Radha Damodar temple at Vrindavan. Radha Damodar temple courtyard is where this picture that I was showing in the first page, this tomb is Srila Rupa Goswami's Samadhi Mandir. And in the courtyard of Radha Damodar temple, there are two prominent the structures. One is the Bhajan Kutir of Rupa Goswami, the other is the Samadhi Mandir. And Prabhupada quarters were right behind that. And he resided in one of those quarters. If you go today also, there are Prabhupada quarters in Radha Damodar Mandir. It is established by the followers of Prabhupada. You can see, you can feel Prabhupada's presence right there. I don't know how many of you have gone there. If you go there, you can also feel that presence of Prabhupada and see how he has dedicated his life to these teachings. Prabhupada, when he initially started his journey, he went to Vrindavan and resided in that place. And there were some Babajis who later narrated how Prabhupada received the mercy from Rupa Goswami. He used to sit in the courtyard of Rupa Goswami's Samadhi Mandir, and he used to pray, he used to cry, he used to beg to give his mercy, to asking for him to bestow his mercy so that he can do, because he got the instruction to write these literatures in English from his spiritual master Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur right at Radha Damodar Mandir. First time he got on the banks of Radha Kund, and then later on he got it in the Radha Damodar Mandir. And then he wanted to, and he said, don't worry, you will be given all the mercy, all the help that you require. Just do this. Do this service of writing the books in English. And then, because of that instruction, Prabhupada went and resided in Radha Damodar Mandir, and he started to prepare himself to write he was already writing, but he wanted to go to the West to preach. So he was preparing himself for him to prepare to go to West. For him to go to West is a monumental task. He didn't know how to do. So he wanted to ask for the mercy. That's why that was his move. He resided in Radha Damodar temple, right in the presence of Rupa Goswami, so that he can ask, he can beg, he can pray to Srila Rupa Goswami to give him that. So Rupa Goswami had come to Srila Prabhupada's dreams so many times. So one of the Babajis, who was Hridayananda Babaji, who has narrated that, and later to Prabhupada's disciples. Prabhupada never told this to anyone. Prabhupada's disciples came to know by this Goswami that I used to hear a voice every night, very, very prominently. That voice is to chant, and that voice is to beg for the mercy, that voice is to cry in front of Rupa Goswami's Samadhi Mandir at nights. And one day, this Babaji he woke up from the sleep because he could hear that voice again. And then he could see Prabhupada brooming the Samadhi Mandir, Samadhi area of Rupa Goswami, crying, asking him, please give me mercy. I don't know, I have this instruction from my spiritual master. I don't know how I'm going to do this. Please give me mercy. Please help me to do this service. So he was praying and brooming the area. And then he could see that. And oh, this is the voice that I see here every night or many nights. And this is this person. Though he narrated this pastime to Prabhupada's disciples. When Prabhupada's disciples went to the Vrindavan and found and talked to many Goswamis there. And then one other pastime of Rupa Goswami that Prabhupada only told to when Prabhupada went to Radha Damodar Mandir, this was upon the invitation of the Radha Damodar Mandir's Goswami. That Goswami's grandson, to whom Prabhupada is telling that last night I had a visit from three prominent effulgent personalities. One was wearing just kopina and he was chanting on tulsi beads on his neck, very nicely, very effulgent. And the other was a elderly devotee, elderly personality who was very affectionate to this devotee. And then there was one more small devotee behind. That means who? Who are they? They are Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, and Jiva Goswami. He was visited, Prabhupada was visited by them personally and told. And one time Prabhupada only said that, Maharaj, don't worry. I will be with you. Rupa Goswami is telling to Prabhupada, Maharaj, just don't worry. I will be with you. Just do this service. Go. Go and preach in the West. Write the scriptures in English. Go and preach in the West. I will be personally present. So this word of Prabhupada, which is saying Krishna consciousness movement is conducted under direct supervision of Srila Rupa Goswami, is not an ordinary statement. He has experienced it directly from Srila Rupa Goswami, and he is saying that. And this is how Prabhupada has received mercy, and Prabhupada, that's why he chose that particular place of Radha Damodar temple to begin his journey or to prepare himself for the journey and write the scriptures there itself. Okay, I'll read some more passages. Sri Rupa Goswami was the leader of all the six Goswamis, and to guide our activities, he gave us this Upadeshamrita, nectar of devotion, to follow. As Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left behind him the 8 verses known as Shikshashtaka, Rupa Goswami gave us the Upadeshamrita so that we may become pure Vaishnavas. So if I may ask all of you, what is the highest goal of our spiritual life or goal of life? Let's put it like that. There is no other goal other than the spiritual goal for us. So what is the highest goal for all of us? Krishna Prem. Yes. To understand the esoteric pastimes of Shri Shri Radha and Krishna. That is the goal of our life. So in the spiritual affairs, one's first duty is to so how do you think we can achieve that unless we have some control on our senses? Senses are very prominent. To achieve something which is that highest esoteric nature, if we can't have control on our senses, I don't think we can go there. So Rupa Goswami starts small and goes all the way up to bhava and prema in this 11 verses of Sri Upadeshamrita. So he's starting very basic, and Prabhupada will say some more things about this book itself. He says this is very basic. This is for neophyte. It starts there, but it goes all the way to Krishna Prema. In the spiritual affairs, one's first duty is to control his mind and senses. Unless one controls his mind and senses, one cannot make any advance in spiritual life. Everyone within the material world is engrossed in the modes of passionate desires. One must promote himself to the platform of goodness, Sattvaguna, by following the instructions of Rupa Goswami. And then everything concerning how to make further progress will be revealed. So, one, we have to control under the instructions of Rupa Goswami, and everything slowly by following his instructions step by step. It's a step-by-step process. We'll start with first verse, second, and so on. I'll just probably give you an overview today, or if not, we'll do that next day, tomorrow. So if we follow the instructions of Rupa Goswami in this step-by-step methodical process, we will and apply this process. Application, this is an internal process. Sometimes we may know that we know the process, we are chanting, we know the scriptures, we have read Bhagavad Gita, now we are reading Nectar of Instruction, but this process is internal process. So internal journey begins. Okay. So, and Prabhupada is making a very important point here. Advancement in Krishna consciousness depends on the attitude of the follower. What is the attitude? Okay, I will share my screen. So I just put the some of the points from this area itself. We'll read. Advancement in Krishna consciousness depends on the attitude of the follower. A follower of the Krishna consciousness movement should become a perfect Goswami. Vaishnavas are generally known as Goswamis. In Vrindavan, this is a title by which the director of each temple is known. One who wants to become a perfect devotee of Krishna must become a Goswami. Go means the senses, Swami means the master. Unless one controls his senses and mind, one cannot become a Goswami. To achieve the highest success in life by becoming a Goswami and then a pure devotee of the Lord, one must follow the instructions known as Upadeshamrita, which have been given by Srila Rupa Goswami. Sri Rupa Goswami has given many other books such as the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Vidagdava Madhava, Lalita Madhava. But the Upadesha Amrita constitutes the first instructions for neophyte devotees. Remember, these are the instructions for the neophyte devotees. One should follow these instructions very strictly. Then it will be easier to make one's life successful. Hare Krishna. Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, September 20th, 1975. Vishwarupa Mahotsav, Krishna Balaram Mandir, Ramanreti, Vrindavan. So, what is the purpose of Upadeshamrita? Rupa Goswami gave us Upadeshamrita to guide our activities so that we may become Goswamis who can control our senses and mind. Go means senses, Swami means the master. So we can control our senses and mind so that we may become pure Vaishnavas. By following this methodical process he is enunciated, we may become Vaishnavas. And so that our lives it will be easier so that our lives are successful. So Upadeshamrita is basically deals with the attitude of the student. What should be our attitude? Our attitude is to make the vision. Attitude means the vision and the mindset that we have, what we have, right? So what should be the vision and the mindset? We need to make the genuine advancement in Krishna consciousness. That should be our attitude. And because by changing our dress, we have already become devotees. By chanting Hare Krishna, also we have become devotees. But then we can be here in this place for a long time unless we work on our internal process. Krishna consciousness, as much as it is an external that we see out by wearing sari and tilak, we can also make it a very internal process. It's very internal by taking the shelter, by begging for the mercy of these acharyas, by praying to the holy name, by praying to Lord Krishna to give us that mercy, to make us surrender to them. That should be our mood. That should be our attitude. So we should take up this process. We should take up this process of making it as an internal process. It should be an internal process rather than external process. External process, everyone can say. Internal process is the most important process. That's where the actual purification takes place. So coming back on the book itself, this book has been commented by a lot of other acharyas, Srila Prabhupada being one of them as Bhakti Nectar of Instruction. But before that, his spiritual master, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, or before that, Bhakti Vinod Thakur also has written a commentary on it. And Prabhupada many times takes inspiration from these texts in his purport. When he is writing the purports, he has taken inspiration. And he has taken from the teachings of various devotees like Rupa Goswami, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur and Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Let me share this page again. I will read from here. Yeah, what Rupa Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur is saying. I advise you all to preach the teachings of Rupa Raghunath with all energy and resources. Our ultimate goal should be to become the dust at the lotus feet of Srila Sanatana, Rupa and Raghunath Goswami and Srila Rupa Goswami, collected the essence of all the instructions of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and ordered it as a gift to genuine sadhakas. He has given it as a gift to the genuine sadhakas. So we are all sadhakas, right? This is our gift to us from Rupa Goswami. So we should embrace it and apply it in our life. So Rupa Sanatana Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, on his deathbed, he has asked his disciples to sing this bhajan, Shri Rupa Manjari Pada, Sei Rupa Sampada, Sei Mora Sampada. So this is what he was taking the shelter of Shri Rupa Goswami even throughout his life as well as on his deathbed. That is the last stages of his life. He was asked his disciple to sing that bhajan. And now what is he preaching to his disciples, to his followers? To become the dust at the lotus feet of Shri Sanatana, at the lotus feet of Rupa and Raghunatha Goswamis. So that should be our mood also. We should become dust, particles. Meaning, what does it mean by dust? Is it really dust? Following their teachings. When we follow their teaching, we are following in their footsteps. That means already collected the dust. So commentators of Shri Upadeshamrita are also Bhaktivinoda Thakur, very first commentator. He wrote Piyusha Varshini Vritti. Followed by that, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur wrote Anuvritti commentary because he couldn't write another, he wanted to write because of his ecstasy, but his father has already written Piyusha Varshini Vritti. So what did he write? Name it as Anuvritti. Anu means to follow. He only followed what Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written. So he made it as Anuvritti commentary. Srila Prabhupada wrote the Nectar of Instruction. So this is a short description. Do I have anything else? Yeah. No. Let's read this. Lord Chaitanya's instructions. Lord Chaitanya has entrusted Rupa Goswami with two primary tasks: to find and revive the lost holy places associated with Lord Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan, and to develop and propagate the theological and philosophical foundations of Gaudiya Vaishnavism. Rediscovering Vrindavan. Rupa Goswami, following the Lord's instruction, went to Vrindavan and meticulously located and re-established the worship of deities like Govindaji and Vrindadevi. Developing theology. Rupa Goswami, along with Sanatan Goswami, meticulously documented and systemized the philosophy of devotional service bhakti as taught by Lord Chaitanya, leading to the development of Gaudiya Vaishnava theology. Foundational role. The role of Rupa and Sanatan Goswami is foundational to Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition, shaping his theology, practices, and understanding of Krishna consciousness. Rupanugas. Devotees of Lord Chaitanya are often referred to as Rupanugas, signifying their adherence to the teachings and principles established by Rupa Goswami. So, Prabhupada is saying we are Rupanugas. We should also know that we are Rupanugas as well as Prabhupadanugas. We are followers of Rupa Goswami as well as the teachings of Prabhupada. So, we are also Prabhupadanugas. By following the teachings of Prabhupada, we are automatically following the teachings of Rupa Goswami. Rupa Goswami's contributions are not just these books and this excavating of the pastimes of in Vrindavan. His contributions are also in terms of many bhajans. And he wrote one book called Stavamala, in which he has written so many bhajans. One of the bhajan, and whenever Rupa Goswami writes bhajans, he always he includes his spiritual master Sanatan Goswami in those bhajans as an offering to his spiritual master. His elder brother is his spiritual master. So he has always included him in his bhajans as well. And he has always given the credit to his elder brother, Sanatan Goswami, because he considers him as he's his spiritual master, not just considers, and he's always given him that credit. Okay, maybe I will just give an overview of the Upadeshamrita. Very, very only one slide to just start off. And then we'll continue tomorrow. We'll have any questions after this, then we can continue tomorrow. So Upadeshamrita at a glance. Avoid things that are unfavorable to bhakti. That comprises of two verses. First verse and second verse. Which the first verse is 6 urges to control the mind, speech, anger, and so on. And the 6 vices: overeating, over-endeavoring, useless talk, improper compliance with scriptural rules, bad association, greed. So that is avoid of the unfavorable bhakti. Then he preaches adopt the things that are favorable to bhakti, because just by giving don'ts, it won't help. We need to know what are the do's. So the do's are 6 virtues of being enthusiastic, being determined, being patient, following the prescribed practices, avoiding bad association, and following the acharya. That's the third verse. Then there are 6 loving exchanges. This is very important verse. Every verse is important, but this is most. Of exchanging gifts, sharing hearts, and feeding one another. Okay, and then appropriately respecting the 3 types of devotees, number 5, 5th verse. There are 5 ways, and not seeing pure devotees from material vision. So that is 6th verse. Then awakening dormant taste for Krishna's pastime, 7th verse. So these are the do's. And all these 1 to 7 comprises of Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. Then Then comes the next stage, which is residing in Braja as a theme. Then staying in Braja, following devotees. This is Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti. We follow the mood of a devotee from Vrindavan and follow their mood, and we continue the Sadhana Bhakti in that, which is Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti. Then residing at the holiest spot of Sri Radha Kund at Govardhan Hill, Srimati Radharani and Sri Radha Kund are most dearmost to Krishna. So he talks about residing in Radha Kund and Vrindavan and bathing in Radha Kund and taking shelter of Radharani. That's the highest. So he's taking all the way from Vaidhi to Bhava Bhakti, and these verses comprise of Bhava Bhakti all the way to Prema Bhakti. Residing in Radha Kund and taking shelter of Sri Vrindavan Dham and Govardhan Hill is the highest stage of our devotional path. So that's what this book transports us right from the beginning, controlling urges and going all the way to Prema Bhakti and Bhava Bhakti. Okay, so that's what is the preface. I tried to, there are many teachers that have taken teachings from to say whatever I could say. And this is not it all. It is just a drop in the entire ocean. And what qualification do I have to speak about Srila Rupa Goswami and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even Srila Prabhupada? What qualification I have? This is as much as I have understood, or as much as I have, it is registered in my mind. So I would like to conclude by saying that there is a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 1, where the sages headed by Sanaka tell to Sanatan Goswami, Suta Goswami, that Suta Goswami says this to the sages of Naimisharanya, say that how much ever I have understood and how much ever I have retained in my mind, I am going to narrate. So at the similar mood, I'm saying that Yadaditam Yadamati. I have no qualification. Whatever I have understood and whatever I have remembered, that I try to reproduce in this short time. So this is what I can say. But Yadaditam and Yadamati. I don't have any other qualification. Whatever little I understood and whatever little I could reproduce. If you have anything you want to share, you are welcome to do now. And if there are any questions also, we can do that. Yes, Toshi Mataji.
Mataji, Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Nice class, Mataji. So, Mataji, I wanted to just know, like, can we have this PDF presentation? So, because there were so many things to register and adopt, but we could not make the proper notes of so many things at the same time. I think I could make just few notes with my speed. So, if you can share the PDF, it will help, Mataji.
Mataji, I have checked with Haladini Upika, and as per the requirement, this is not required to be shared. I will share the recording if you can use that as a
Okay.
resource.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you, Mataji. Thanks for understanding. Yes, yes, Kamika.
Hare Krishna Mataji, lovely class as always.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, I was like reading like the purport of like the text one, and it talks a lot about like where they spend like a considerable time talking about how to control the tongue. I was just wondering how to like practically um, apply that in your life, because it just seems such a hard thing to do, right?
You're already on WhatsApp. I'm still in preface. Kanika.
Only text one, Mataji, text one only.
I am
Text.
still in preface. Do that tomorrow.
Okay.
Anything on the current topic? You want to share anything what you have heard so far? You must have also heard a lot. and your own journey in Krishna and practices in Krishna consciousness.
Mataji, one more question.
Hmm.
So, Mataji, you were sharing one of the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Jagannath temple, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is in the Rath Yatra and he was singing some songs of material kind of songs, right? And then Rup Goswami understood the internal meaning of that and composed it. So, which literature it is, Mataji?
Chaitanya Charitamrita.
Chaitanya Charitamrita.
Charitamrita, if you read, then you will have some of these pastimes. Everyone should read Chaitanya Charitamrita as a side project.
Okay, so Mataji, so the composition what he did, is it a literature? The
What?
composition, the compositions he has written, the melodies he has written for those bhava, what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has.
All these scriptures, right? Nectar of devotion. We are only reading in our study in Bhakti Shastri, we are reading only 17 chapters. There are more chapters in that book. We won't read all that as part of our Bhakti Shastri study. There are esoteric. So all that esoteric pastimes are there. Esoteric narrations are there in the Bhakti Rasam Sindhu. You are free to read on your own, but as part of the Bhakti Shastri study, we won't read everything. 19 or 17 chapters will be read. Then there is other scriptures, which I just mentioned a few. Vidagdha Madhava, Lalita Madhava. So many bhajans that he has written, which are like conveying the meaning of Mahaprabhu's feelings and the pastimes of Radha and Krishna, as well as Ujjvala Nilamani. That is another esoteric scripture. I don't think we will be able to read such esoteric in the, we can read eventually, but right away is what I'm saying. Yeah, so there are many other scriptures. I'll try to send whatever other scriptures he has written if I get to them. Yeah, so many
Thank you.
scriptures that he has written. Yes. Can you change your name, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji, sorry, just trying to use my tab. My name is Priyanka.
Yes.
Thank you for the session today. At the beginning of the class, Mataji, you mentioned there are 3 important temples in Vrindavan, but there are 7, right?
No. I never said the 3 only. I said the 3 deities, which is Madan Mohanji, Govinda
Yeah.
Devji, and Gopinath. Of the 6 Goswamis, there are 7 temples.
Right, sorry, maybe I'm a little confused, Mataji. Are you saying these are the 3 temples that were established in Vrindavan by the Shat Goswamis?
Yes, each their deity. Madan Mohan temple
Yeah.
by Satan Goswami, Govinda Dev temple by Rupa Goswami, Gopinath by Raghunath Das Goswami.
Okay. And what about the other temples, Mataji, that are
There are
there, which are...
other Goswamis, right?
Okay.
Lokanath Goswami,
Yes.
Gokulananda, Radha Gokulananda. There are many other Goswamis in Vrindavan that they have. But in the 6 Goswamis, these are the 3 important deities as well, because each deity signify one process of devotion, right? Sambandha, Abhidheya, Priyojana.
Thank you so much, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Palak.
Krishna Mataji. Thank you so much for adding so much color to the preface. I think it was not mentioned, so this is definitely good knowledge. Thank you so much. My question is around you said that Lord Chaitanya's instruction to Rupa Goswami was to find and revive the lost holy places of Vrindavan. So, can you throw a little bit light on what was the condition of Vrindavan when this instruction was given? What was there? What was not there? What came after that? It would be good to know.
Yeah. So since the time has passed 5,000 years, Mahaprabhu came 500 years back. So much time has passed. So many Appa Siddhantas have come into being. Appa Siddhantas and Bhaktivinoda Thakur took upon himself also to condemn and propagate the real religion. Later on, this is later on. But during that time itself, so many Appa Siddhantas have come and so many even the Radha Kund, what we celebrate as Radha Kund appearance day during Kartik is when Mahaprabhu identified this is the place of Radha Kund. That is a identification of Radha Kund. Appearance has happened as per Krishna Leela's, Krishna's pastimes, but so it had to be redone, like Kalia Ghat got lost. So either with the trees or with the water or with passage of time, things become right eroded or evaded. So this happened, and when Mahaprabhu went, he he knew what each places were, but he couldn't see that outside from how they were looking at that time, and he became very ecstatic as well. But just by going there, he became very ecstatic, and he couldn't externally, he knew internally because he's Krishna himself, but externally nothing was significant in those places for him to say this is this place and establish worship of the deities at that place. So it was a monumental task for the Goswamis. So they went back to the scriptures from the previous acharyas, 5,000 years. They went, they revived, they went through and tediously identified these places and established them so that these places can be reinstated as is, and worship can begin again. So that is how the condition was. Even after Rupa Goswami, the six Goswamis left Vrindavan, after their passing away also, in Gaudiya Desh in Bengal, so many Apasiddhantas, Mahaprabhu's time also, so many Apasiddhantas have come up. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur, if you read again some of the pastimes of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, how he has single-handedly, combated all these apasiddhantas and established, and so many people who come up and say that I am God, I am Supreme Personality of God, I gave the instructions, and how Bhaktivinoda Thakur combated him, and in fact he was put in jail for that. So all that, this is how the situation becomes. Imagine this is only 500 years or maybe 300-400 years since Mahaprabhu left. 5,000 years has passed. How could the situation have become? Even though it is holy place, but then the things change. So I hope I could add some color to what your question is, but I myself don't know what exactly about the situation. This is from what I heard. Hope it helped you to satisfy you.
Yes, thank you, Mataji. Sorry, one last follow-up on this one. So, of the seven main temples that we know, do you know which one were surviving at that time? But from of them, how many were there, and how many of them were found after that or revived after that?
No, this temples, seven temples also, this came up from the Goswami's time, right?
Mm,
I don't know how many were there from the beginning. The deities itself were lost.
mm,
Krishna's grandson, forgetting his
mm.
name. Anybody remembers Krishna's grandson?
Vajranath?
Rajana. He himself he has reinstated the deity of Govinda Devji, which was lost. And Rupa Goswami found that deity. That means that there was no worship happening. We found that under a hill. No worship was happening. So all these temples came up by the Goswamis, by the efforts of Goswamis later on. So how many
Got
were
it.
there before, I don't know. But how many are there now?
Thank you.
Shakti Mataji?
Mataji, thank you so much for this beautiful class, and someone else said it, adding so much color to and so many layers to this book and to the understanding. So I humbly appreciate all that you've done. So thank you. I mean, one of the things that stands out for me, and I'm kind of asking it if I'm maybe if I'm correct or what I'm feeling is like I know they were asking about temples, we're asking about a lot of things. But one of the biggest things in Nectar of Instruction is really talking about um, how to be a good Vaishnava. And when we talk about that, and you said it, I think in the beginning, is wearing a sari, wearing a gopi skirt, like really it's doing the internal work, controlling the senses, the urges, being a good Vaishnava, learning how to be a good bhakta, the passion and the ignorance, the minds and the sense. Like I'm just reading this literally right out of the beginning of the preface. So, and to advance is having the attitude of a follower.
Mm.
So I just thought that was really beautiful. I mean, because there's so many, sometimes for me, I do the same thing. I look at, this and that. And when it really comes down to it, am I right? Is it like really what we're looking at in the soul?
Can you repeat your last
Yes.
statement? Question.
Yes. So I guess what I'm asking is that when I read Nectar of Instruction, and I was reading the preface again this morning, is it really talks all about, controlling this, all about things that we need to do within ourselves
Mm.
to grow in bhakti, to
Mm.
be, I don't want to say a better devotee, but I guess to advance in bhakti.
Correct.
Would you, is that
Yes,
okay?
that's correct. This book is going to take us from that basics of controlling our senses, starting with the tongue
Mm,
and making progress all the way. So this is the process. Control the tongue, the urge. There are so many urges of the tongue
mm,
to speak and to eat, right? So we need to control the urge. So it starts there and goes all the way. Yes, this is
Thank
the
you.
process.
Thank you. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you. Okay, that's it. Like, yes.
Mataji, just course-related question. So, do you have any plan or schedule in which we will target how many verses per class, and so that we can come prepared? I'm not sure whether to share that tomorrow. I'm asking it sooner than
No,
expected,
no,
but is it something
I
that we
have
have?
it. I have it. I can share. It's just one verse
Okay.
per session.
Okay.
Tomorrow next one verse after one. But the
Mhm.
last verse, three verses are together as per the module.
Okay.
Verses can take more time, but I
Mhm.
really want to keep one verse per session.
Yes.
So that way I can first start off my saying whatever I want to say, and then you can ask questions towards the end. So that way it will keep us on schedule. People who have to leave after some time. That's why we moved the schedule also up. Used to come at 10, but right now 9:30, so that devotees can have services on Sundays, especially can go off. So my part, I will take an hour, probably a little more than that to complete my part. And then we will have the sessions, question and answers. So we'll stick to 1.5 hour timing. Um, and then one verse per week for all the verses. Last verse, three verses are together in one session because of the nature of the verses, because they're very high level. We are sadhakas, we are neophytes, so I think by design it has been made like that we go through those three verses together, because there's not much my realization won't be that much to share, and then it's hard to follow at this stage for all of us. So that's why last three verses will be together in one session. Having said that, if there is a verse that can go more than one session, I'm willing to do that. We can take, if there is so much to speak, and if that happens naturally, we will go to the next session for one verse. But usually, let's keep one session per verse. So that way, you know where it will land. And then immediately we'll start with the e-show. There are some holidays also coming. Janmashtami, no class. Prabhupada Vyasa Puja, Saturday, Sunday, no class. Radhashtami also no class. So three classes you minus. Then we land on August 26th. Oh, sorry. We land on August 23rd. Sorry, 24th. Sunday. We'll finish on August 24th. Bhaktirasam Sindhu. 30th, we'll start with Isho. 31st is a holiday because Radhashtami. And then we'll continue all the way into September, October, second week will be done, hopefully with the revision also. That following week, 18, 19, you have your exam. That's the schedule. We'll also
Are you able
start,
to, sorry,
say that again.
can you If you're reading it from a schedule, can you
I'm not
share it
reading.
if
I'm
you
looking
can?
at the
Oh,
I'm looking at the dates. I will read. I will post it. I will post it.
okay. Thank you,
The
Mataji.
document that I have prepared. I can post that. That and exam between the 18th, 19th of October. I will have to come up with the OBAs, right? Open book questions. So
Verse recitation also, Mataji, when it will be?
that I think
Verses.
Halladini Gopika Mataji has already posted.
Okay, okay.
Did not she post?
No, Mataji, we haven't.
Okay,
It's
I'll
not there
ask
in the
her to
group yet.
post. I'll ask her to post the entire schedule. Better it comes from her, so it'll be nice. Okay.
Yeah, the shloka memorization test, right?
Yes, that and
Yeah.
OBAs as well as the exam, the whole schedule and the exam dates.
Yeah. Yes, Mataji. If it's there, I think it helps us, we know when it's coming and we can prepare, and if we can also plan to stay at home and not go anywhere, like the exam dates or the OBA dates.
Correct.
If it's not known, it's a bit hard and we have to request to make
No, it's there.
adjustments.
It's
We don't want to do
available.
that.
No
Yeah.
worries, no worries. It's available. Either she or I will post it. Okay, between today.
Okay, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Yes,
Krishna. I'm just
Mataji.
gonna go off of what Palaka said. Is like last night I looked at my phone before I went to bed and it said read the preface before we get here, and I was like, okay, so I mean I'm up early anyway, but yeah, knowing what we need to like, I like to also be prepared, like Palak was saying. So like on our next session, should we be reading like
Yeah, read verse 1 if it allows your schedule. It will definitely help. We will not read the entire from the book because how much is there in each text. So I will have some slides. So we'll see. If we needed, we'll go back and forth between the text and the PowerPoint. Okay.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. If there's nothing else, then we'll wind up for the day. Thank you all very much. Vancha kalpatarubhescha kripasindhubheva patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo Anantapurusha ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you all. Have a nice, wonderful day. We'll meet tomorrow. Hare Krishna.